Great news. All your favorite comedy podcasts can be enjoyed ad-free on Amazon Music.
Listen to your favorite music, plus top podcasts completely ad-free on Amazon Music, included with your Prime membership.
Dive into a world of laughs by downloading the Amazon Music app for free, or go to amazon.com/ad-free-comedy. That's amazon.com/ad-free-comedy to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads. Ready to get in touch with your moody side? It's time to check out Crocs' new daring shades, comfy styles, and edgy gibbets charms.
Think classic black and dark purple hues, gemstone charms, and neutrals you can accent with your favorite personalization.
I actually got some really cool white Crocs, which go really well with my summer outfits. You know, if you're going to brunch, you're wearing like a cool light colored outfit, some nice white Crocs, it just looks really good.
And they're so versatile. I love wearing them around the house, and I wear them out too. They're just the easiest thing I have, and definitely the most comfortable.
Oh my God, so comfortable. Plus, all their clogs and sandals are made with the iconic comfort we all love to keep us comfortable all day, no matter where it takes us.
Find your moody side when you head over to shop at crocs.com.
Weight loss solutions are not one size fits all. Everyone deserves to have a weight loss plan that is tailored to their specific needs. So if you're struggling with losing weight and need some extra help, it's time you check out Hims and Hers.
Hims and Hers is changing healthcare by providing access to GLP-1 weekly injections with the same active ingredient as Ozempic and Wegovy, as well as oral medication kit. Plus, your personalized treatment ships for free directly to your door.
So you've been struggling with your weight loss journey. It's time you find an option that works for you with Hims and Hers.
Start your free online visit today at forhers.com/crappens.
That's forhers.com/crappens for your personalized weight loss treatment options.
forhers.com/crappens.
Not available everywhere, Hers weight loss includes compound products which are not approved nor verified for safety or effectiveness by FDA.
Prescription products require a provider consultation. Restrictions apply. Actual price to customer will depend on product and subscription plan purchase.
Watch what happens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that happens? Watch what happens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that happens? Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about, or in this case, Peacock, because today we are talking about the Love Island USA Season 6 reunion. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me, the wonderful Bombshell himself, Mr. Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie.
Hello, Ben.
What's been going on over in your world?
I'm still recovering from learning about the absolute trauma that bombshells go through on this show.
Oh my God.
It is real. It is a real thing in this country, and I'm glad that we're going to have a moment to talk about it on this show.
Yeah, me too. I personally am just like a little upset that Kendall hasn't checked in on me, because I think that like it's pretty obvious that when his nude videos were leaked, his jerk-off videos, like he should have checked on me when that happened. So that's what I'm going through today.
It's rough. It's really rough. And
it
doesn't matter that I was ignoring him and told him not to talk to me and just wanted to be alone. The fact that he actually listened to me is really, I mean, I got new teeth for this. So.
And no one even asked me what my teeth were going through. Okay.
Also, this big moment in this episode is the cast, Ariana looking straight into the camera and in very slow motion. Just kidding. It's a lot of Ariana slow motion in general, but just staring into the camera and begging us to stop bullying people. Guys, I agree. In general, America, stop bullying. Watch What Crappens? No, we're not going to. America should. You guys should. But no, we're not going to, because that's what we do. We're friends. We like to bully. No, I mean, just amongst friends.
Bullying.
Bully people behind their backs when you're with your friends. But don't go online and be mean to people. Or
don't be mean.
Firebomb their house and stuff like that. It's terrible. You know, I mean, even if you don't like their teeth. But if you have some friends to talk some shit about these people with, do that like we're doing. We're just going to pretend this isn't public. And if you're from this show and for some reason you're like, oh, two elderly people talking about our show, this is not for you.
You know what it is for me? some Pizza Hut. God, I could really go for some. Let me go have some Pizza Hut and angle the boxes directly to the camera. Let me eat the pizza from behind the box and make sure everyone sees how delicious this Pizza Hut is right now.
I'm really sick of these people and their non-subtlety, especially when I could be eating Hungry Root right now, which is a much healthier option that I really enjoy, while I'm wearing my Crocs, and reading from, listening to titles on my Audible.
I mean, I can't tell you how many times I was like, when I watched that scene, I was like, is this a dream? Do I need to drink some Quest iced coffees to wake myself up right now?
Well, I'm just glad I was watching it while I was sitting down on an article.com sofa.
God, I can't wait to watch a TV show on FX. So,
wow, that Blake Lively movie. Here, that's pretty good. This ends with us. Okay, guys. So, Love Island USA.
The reunion.
Poor Ariana. Let me tell you, it's got to be hard being Ariana. First of all, being this famous and gorgeous has got to hurt in some kind of way. I feel like you can't be happy when you're this famous and gorgeous. Also, just the fact that they've shown her for 37 hours. Well, and this show is really long. So let's say 60 hours walking in such slow motion.
I know.
If I see Ariana coming at me in a parking lot, I'm going to feel like she's the Incredible Hulk, like racing at me. I'm going to be like, how did you get close to me so fast? I'm used to you walking so slow.
Yeah, she walks like, it turns out that's just the way that Ariana walks. That's what we learned. I also feel very bad for Ariana because for whatever reason, the production designer of this reunion decided to make a reunion set that maybe models the fire pit. Maybe that's what they were going for, but it's basically two concentric circles of benches and Ariana's right in the center. And they put like Rob and Daniela, but Rob was right behind Ariana. And so every time she talked to Rob, she had to fully twist around and then look up behind her. And I'm like, who designed this seating arrangement? This is the least TV friendly arrangement you could possibly think of. Whatever happened to bleachers?
Yeah, or like maybe they could be on a lazy Susan, where if they have to talk to somebody, they can like start turning them around like a lazy Susan, a lazy Slutzen, just like move the flutes around to talk to each other.
I know. It was. I know that this cast is enormous, and there were a lot of people who didn't even make it there, who weren't there. Cain wasn't there, and I wasn't sure what the story was behind Cain not being there.
Got in trouble for some racist shit. Did you see it?
Oh, was that after the show, or that was? Because I know when he left the show, I'm not surprised because I know that
he went to New York to do it. I think he went to New York to do it.
I'm not surprised
and
that he got to
I saw the video. It's basically him eating Chinese food, and he has chopsticks, and he makes like a sound or something, and people. I don't want to say it because I don't want to. I found,
No, don't perpetuate Cain.
Yeah, I don't think it's funny or like particularly funny or whatever. I didn't look at it and think like, oh my God, he's attacking people. That's not how I personally took it, but I was like, what an idiot. What a stupid thing to do on TV. So he got in trouble and canceled from this show.
People also really hate him. So. He was, people talking about how
I think he sucks in general.
Anger issues. And then he and Sierra got into like a feud online and everything. And he's just like a dick. And I did see that a lot of people were reveling in the fact that he flew all the way from England and still didn't get onto the reunion. So I'm happy with that. I didn't need to see that freaking Adam's apple gash of a tattoo on his neck any longer than necessary.
Yeah. He got in some trouble, so he's out of here. And also his whole I'm going to be answering questions from the show tonight. Here's the way they see us. They have lights that they turn on at night. Okay, that's all for my TikTok today. Get the fuck out of here, Cain.
Yeah. That guy
TikTok.
This guy, he literally looks like a piranha, and he's sitting here acting like he is God's gift to this show. I don't even know how he made it out of Casa Amor. That's always the strangest thing. But either way, he made it on. So onto the main show, not on the reunion. But the reunion, so we have everyone there. Everyone
walks in and they're surrounded by screaming, and they have like all these fans outside screaming their names and acting crazy and just like, oh my God, it's Taylor Swift. Like they're literally freaking out for these people. And it's so funny because it looks like maybe 50 people they got from Central Casting.
Yes.
That they're just like scream a lot. They're like, let's get some white teenagers and just have them screaming and crying. So that's basically what we got. And they were showing, it's like they shoved them all to a small area to make it look like hundreds of people, but they're like standing together.
But you could tell.
And then they were just freaking out. And people were like, they had to answer questions like, how are you feeling tonight? And like, well, like, what's her buns, Nicole, who we were just making fun of. Nicole's like, well, you know, like, we're still together, kind of. But we need to have some discussions because, like, I need to say some stuff for the first time. Everyone's like, oh my God.
So, yeah, they have this whole thing, all this like, oh my God, it's Kenny. Oh my God, it's really nice that there are people that came out to the reunion for me and Janae. Janae's like, come on, hurry up, Kenny. I've got to go. Janae wants me to hurry up. So everyone's happy. Cordell is wearing some wild outfit. It's like pink, but with patches and a floppy hat, and he looks absolutely ridiculous.
He's Holly hobbying. What is he doing?
I did not know what was going on.
Not the Holly hobby. I'm not really. I don't know what the hell
Bless
is
his
going
heart.
on there.
Bless his sweet little heart. So they all get onto the stage. He was very bold. Be bold. They all got onto the stage, and then it's like 10 minutes of Ariana saying hi to everyone. I kind of felt bad for the people who just never got to speak the whole reunion. I don't think Hakeem got to talk, or Hakeem, and I think he was the only one who didn't get to talk. Like, there was not even a question. Not even in the how hard was it to be a Bombshell segment did he even get to say a single word.
Now, I didn't watch maybe, a week and a half of the show or something because we weren't covering it or whatever. And I feel like, how much did I miss? Because there are a lot of people on the stage. I have no idea who they are. One particularly adorable guy who I just fucking love this guy. And he ended up being like, oh my God, I'm just here for the guys. I made so many close friendships with the guys. I mean, you know who I've seen? The guys. Like, we've hung out. Like, we've gone to play Steve all together.
Yeah, Connor.
I love the guys. God, you're so adorable. I just loved him hearing like how into guys he is over and over again. I was like, there is hope for our youth because this guy is so cute.
He's also the one that's rumored to be romantically involved with Katie Maloney. So, any further updates?
Oh, really? I can see that. I can see that.
Like,
I can see that, actually. He's got Tom Schwartzy vibes. He's got young Schwartz vibes for sure.
He's really cute, but he's just such a bro. He's such a California bro. He's like, yeah, I just really came here for the guys, and it was like really great. And Rob came out to LA, and we went snake hunting, and it was a great time. And like, yeah, it worked out really well for me.
Well, I can tell you it's not going to work out with Katie, and here's why. She hates that guy energy. Like, she hates a guy who's like going to stand up for the bros. She's not going to be there for that. So he's either going to need to change that or it's not going to work out because she's already put up with that for years. But I have to say, good for Katie. Good for you go, Katie. In your Connor era.
He's really hot, but I just remember like my favorite line that he said his entire time on the show was that he was like lumbering over to someone and he was like walking slowly or strangely, and someone gave him a look like, why are you walking like that? He goes, it's the lats. I was like, shut up.
Hot.
It's the lats. So another blast from the past was that we saw Coy. Coy was the first one voted out. He was like 6'8". He was originally with Janae, and he's there off in the corner in this like bright red outfit with like a Chanel brooch on and everything, and like he starts off by going, I just want to apologize, like me and Dea went live and like I spoke on Kenny and Janae's relationship and I wasn't keeping up with it, and the show, and like what people were telling me, and I just was like talking, and they asked me like, how do you feel? I was like, it's like a fake relationship, and I just came here to like legitimately apologize to both of you guys. Like, I shouldn't have spoken on your relationship. I just, after going back watching, you guys have a great genuine relationships. I just really wanted to come here to apologize. I'm like, no one cared about what you had to say, Coy. Literally no one saw it. No one thought about it. No one was angry about it. You're not on anyone's radar. I love him making this big apology. Like America's been waiting for this moment.
Well, Janae cared.
Janae came in very prepared.
Her name was Janae because she was not having this person. She was not about to listen to his shit. She was giving him a death stare the whole time he was talking. And then after, she was like, thank you.
I know. Kenny was like, thank you. So Janae was hilarious because she whipped out some sort of like It wasn't even a dossier. It was just like a stack of papers stapled together. I don't know where she was hiding that, but it just appeared in her hands out of nowhere. We didn't even see her pulling it out from behind a pillow. Suddenly it would just like appear at random times during the reunion and be like, actually on August 13th, you went onto a podcast and you said that my eyebrows didn't look good today. And I was wondering if you could explain that some more because I didn't like that.
I needed her to pull out some readers for this, and I love that she even had them stapled. The pages were like stapled and folded. She's like, but then he were talking about me on a podcast. It didn't make me feel very happy about it, and that's really not cool. So I really need you to get Leah's name out of your mouth.
Also, Hannah, who was she was in the early part of the season, and she says, Ariana's like, Hannah, like, what has been the most surprising thing that happened to you since coming from the villa? And she's like, the amount of hate I got for my makeup, it was like very hurtful. And like, I know I'm a bad bitch because everyone calls me a bad bitch. And everyone's applauding her. But I did notice her makeup was better for the reunion. So, you know.
It was not. No, it was
You didn't think so?
She was still wearing makeup like the Tin Man. She still came with Tin Man makeup on. This lady's crazy, okay? And
but at least she didn't have like
her whole I've been bullied
up
because of my makeup. You were bullied because your makeup was left literally all over everything and everyone, okay? You are a makeup litterer. And you know that that's the damn truth. You can't just walk around wearing makeup and leaving it all over every couch, every person, every animal who comes into contact with you. You look like somebody from CSI is shining a black light flashlight at you. That's what you look like, okay? And then what does she do? She comes dressed exactly the same way. I was like, are we following a yellow brick road? Are we next to Toto looking for a green witch? Why are you looking like the Tin Man? And she's like, you know what? I got bullied for my makeup. And everyone's like, oh my God. And Ariana's like, well, I'm wearing so much makeup too. No, you are not. Don't try to make her feel better. Don't give her hugs. Give her paper towels.
I thought she looked better because I felt like if you were to like go near Hannah, you would not emerge with a big white powdery spot on your shirt, you know, this time. I don't know. I will always remember the time that Kendall made out with Hannah and his face emerged like he just stuffed one of those like Hostess snowballs into his face.
Yeah.
Or a powdered donut. Like that. But Hannah, you know, I feel like we deserved more time with her because she came onto the show and her whole thing was this: I have a rare condition where I sweat excessively out of my palms. And so she would always walk around like she was air drying her palms.
Yeah. And
like
she was like
she's being arrested
really awkwardly and just kind of like all over the place. And she really does have something special because every time they cut to her or ask her anything, she just comes to life. You know, she brings the whole show to life. I think she's really funny,
and everyone seemed to really like her. But it seemed like the reunion, it took like 10 minutes of like hellos and what's everyone been up to, and everyone's being polite. And it felt like the reunion didn't really kick into gear until Ariana focused on Kendall and Nicole. And Ariana was basically like, so, Kendall and Nicole, like, how are you guys doing? And then it's just like, just silence. They both kind of like take a deep sigh and look down at their knees.
Yeah. So you didn't like it until that. I
mean, it was like fine. I thought it was fine. It was fine, but it was just all like, it was just like nice stuff. It was like, oh, what have you been up to? Oh, I've been, you know, like, oh my God, like I saw Miguel, like Miguel and I have been like FaceTiming and it's like crazy. It's like crazy. We're like FaceTiming a lot, you know. It was just like nice little updates on people's lives and everything seemed to be nice. Everything was good. Like, oh my God. So Cordell, you asked Serena to be your girlfriend. It's like, yeah, we did. And he got the Cheez-Its deal. It's all like, it was all nice and smiley.
I love that he got his Cheez-Its deal. I mean, really, talk about manifesting. You know, people can laugh at that kid all they want. And we literally just did because that hat needs help. Like, it needs help. But the fact that he just came on and was like, you know what I'm really into? I really want sponsorships like with Cheez-Its. And now the man has a sponsorship with Cheez-Its. I mean, just believe, guys.
It is also funny, like fast forwarding to later in the episode when we watched a very long, unedited conversation about who should be voted off and during that critical moment. And Leah's big thing was like, I'm not even sure that Andrea's here for the right reasons, because she was like talking about how she would get like better table service and also like endorsements. And then meanwhile, they're all applauding Cordell for landing his Cheez-Its deal that he basically asked for on the air.
Right. And she's got 3 million followers now, which is insane, which is great because she's my favorite, But well, I like her and Janae. But yeah, I think that it's not bad to want it. It's just bad to say you want it because they're all doing the same thing. I mean, I actually kind of believe Serena and Cordell. Kind of. And I'm very cynical, by the way. But obviously, it's hard for me to believe anybody because they're all acting like, oh my God, you have an announcement? Oh my God, he asked me to be his girlfriend. Isn't that crazy? No, it's not crazy. We've just watched you sob and scream and cry and love each other for all this time. The steps to the love is so confusing to me. Like the fact that they went all through all of that and then it took all of this just to say we're boyfriend and girlfriend. Of course you're boyfriend and girlfriend. I just don't. I don't get why that's like such a big step. And then Janae tried to have her own like, oh, well, we're boyfriend and girlfriend too, everybody. And then
yes,
like, whoa. It's like such a huge accomplishment. I mean, I don't think I've had a friend even tell me like, Ronnie, I got my first movie. No one acts like this.
Yeah.
But you find a boyfriend and it's like, oh my God, a hot person found a boyfriend. Get a
I know.
together.
Especially because you guys have already been on the trajectory. Like we watched this all summer. You guys are going to be in a relationship. I liked when Janae and Kenny announced that they are now also boyfriend, girlfriend, and everyone's like clapping like, oh my God. And Kenny goes, yeah, it's been 6 days. I was like, oh, that's exciting. It's celebrating 6 days of being boyfriend, girlfriend.
Well, that's only been a couple weeks since they wrapped the show, right?
I know, but there's just something so funny about like making this announcement. Like we've been in this relationship, things have been going so well, and you find out it happened like a few days before this. I don't know, like it was the low stakes of it all is hilarious. And I think that's why Cordell gets away with being able to like pander for a Cheez-Its promotion, because if you have someone on there saying like, maybe we'll get like a TV show. Because this, by the way, happens on Big Brother every season too. Someone always is like, I don't know, I think maybe we'll get onto The Amazing Race. Or maybe after this, like we can have like our own special. If we do really well, we'll get a cameo on Days of Our Lives. Everyone always like shoots for the moon, like for their reality show. But Cordell's just like, I just want to influence for Cheez-Its.
That's a big one. I mean, he's got his eye on the proper prize because not only are Cheez-Its chemically delicious, I mean, they do taste like, like if cancer was orange dyed and put into a tasty snack, like taste that taste.
I don't think that's even a theoretical. I think that's
like
just what it is.
What it is. Yeah. They just call it different names on the packaging, but on the ingredients list. But ultimately, I think you get paid a lot more for commercials than you do like winning Big Brother. I mean, what do you get now? $750. So I'll bet he could probably work that into $1 million deal, don't you?
And I think like the images that I saw, it looks like that there are like these Cheez-It boxes with Cordell's face on it, unless that was like someone photoshopped that. I would buy a Cordell.
Retton, you go.
I would buy a Cordell box of Cheez-Its. Look at us. We're talking about it right now. That's brand awareness.
You guys, it's huge.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
This podcast is supported by FX's English Teacher, from the executive producer that brought you What We Do in the Shadows.
English Teacher follows Evan, a teacher in Austin, Texas, who learns if it's really possible to be your full self at your job while often finding himself at the intersection of the personal, professional, and political aspects of working at a high school.
FX's English Teacher premieres September 2nd on FX. Stream on Hulu.
We get support from Dove. Hey everyone, this is your girl Keke Palmer, host of the Wondery podcast, Baby, This is Keke Palmer. Listen up, because there's some messed up stuff we gotta talk about. Currently, race-based hair discrimination is still legal in some states in the U.S., which means Black people are getting denied jobs, kept out of schools, and losing out on opportunities because of their natural hair texture and protective hairstyles. That's just not right. But there's good news. The Crown Act is legislation which prohibits race-based hair discrimination in workplaces and schools in the U.S. And today's sponsor, Dove, is a huge advocate. They are all about championing a world that respects and celebrates the beauty of Black hair. That's why Dove co-founded the Crown Coalition in 2019 to advocate for the passage of the Crown Act. Dove and the Crown Coalition are trying to reach 1 million Crown Act petition signatures and hope to see the Crown Act passed nationwide. Join Dove in taking action to help end race-based hair discrimination by signing the Crown Act petition at dove.com/crown. That's dove.com/crown.
So Kenny and Janae, yeah, they said that they're boyfriend and girlfriend too. And then so Ariana's like, so who else is boyfriend and girlfriend? Are you guys boyfriend and girlfriend, Leah? And what's this hot guy who's way hotter without his shirt off, let's be honest. I was like, I don't like you in clothes. Can you get naked?
He looked really cheesy in his purple blazer, his purple suit
still
with black.
Of course, like,
still,
he's adorable, but I need.
But it was giving like Night at the Roxbury.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you see so much of people's personality in their clothing. Obviously, right? It's not the deep thing to say. Like, I'm an Old Navy boy, and I literally it fits me. Cranky, last forever, inexplicably put together by children hastily. But yeah, I need him without his shirt. Anyway, it gets to them and he's like, no, I mean, don't pressure us. I mean, boyfriend and girlfriend. What? It's just so soon.
Yeah. I think that he should have worn like a black suit with like a black shirt and it should have been unbuttoned very far. Cause like if he's got the body and like he should just lean into that and he's also European. So he can be like, I'm just wearing my black shirt and wearing showing my abs right now. That's what I'm doing. I'm European, so how we do it. Like that should have been his look, not like purple blazer and black t-shirt.
Relationship, it's way too soon for a relationship. It's not too soon. But I do think, now that I think about it, Leah's the smartest one here, and she also got the most followers out of all of this, which we find out she's at 3 million something now, which is nuts and crazy. And I think. She plays this whole like, well, it's really like, I think the reason I got those followers, which by the way, no one asked her, but Ariana's like, how many followers do you have now? She goes, 3 million. And everyone like, starts applauding. And she
but it's like a weird
for Instagram followers. Like, well, I think the reason that I got so many Instagram followers is because I'm just like a real girl. It's like, but I think that she got that many followers because she's smart and she knows how to play it.
She's funny.
She's not going to be a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship until she sells that shit for some kind of a sponsorship deal.
Well, also, like people feel bad for her. People feel bad for her too because she was the victim of like Rob's manipulations. And honestly, I think Rob got off this entire reunion very easily. I was very disappointed that he was not grilled more. I felt like we'll get to Rob in a moment, but right now, so then after Leah,
hold on, let me stick with Leah for 1 second, because now that I'm thinking about it, I do like that Leah, I think one of the reasons she got more people than anybody else is because she really did show more of a real side of a person. Like when she let herself be like, fuck that bitch, or like when she got mad and started like going off about Rob, that's ultimately stuff that people, especially her guy, were kind of against, and like, I really don't like that side of her personality, because everyone else is just so fucking like, oh, I'm so into the romance of every little thing, all I care about is love and she actually like showed a little snarkiness and a little bit of her bad side, and she wasn't really afraid to do that, and I think people kind of like that when everybody's not just a fucking robot.
Yeah, I think so. There's like, she was like surprisingly winsome. Like she came into the season being like if she felt like an awkward nerd. I was like, what is she even doing on this show? And then she really emerged as this like really hilarious, self-possessed kind of kooky person who always seemed to be aware that she was acting wild sometimes, but she's like, well, whatever. Like my therapist loves it.
I remember the first time we talked about this show, I said she reminded me of a girl who wore really thick glasses and finally got to take them off and like try contacts for the first time. And her eyes are maybe kind of crossing from it because she's not used to seeing like that. And just that look, but like she had that makeover from like really thick glasses, and then finding out she's like a horse girl and all this. I was just like, I think that's it too. You know, it's like kind of maybe a nerdy girl who like blew up into this bombshell. Like,
she also has a big booty,
kind of more relatable.
Yeah, no, she's like definitely like the star, and she's funny. I mean, when she was on Call Me Daddy or Call Her Daddy, whatever, and she's like, okay, I may be dumb, but I'm not stupid, or whatever it was, or maybe it was the other way around. Like, that was such a funny line. Like, that is like, the things like that tumble out of her mouth are so hilarious. Like, you can't help but like root for her, you know?
Yeah, love her.
So then everything seems to be fine and dandy amongst all these people, and then we finally get to Nicole and Kendall, and like things have obviously gone wrong because they're being very silent and everything. And Nicole's like, "You can answer that one, Kendall," and he's like, So it's been a bit tough coming on the outside. I mean, not coming on the outside. That's a bad choice of words, but
oh my God, coming on the inside of a phone. I shouldn't say that. Just coming. It's been really rough coming. It's not. Everybody knows I don't have a problem coming. What is wrong with me? I just came. I literally just came.
I've been just trying to turn the other cheek. Wrong phrase. So
it's just been really rough inside of me. Oh my God.
I'm just trying to spread the love. Wrong words.
Okay. So first, this couple, when we were watching this couple on the show, I remember talking about how she's just so uncomfortable in this relationship. Like, she cannot be here for the happy times. She does not like it. Her thing was like, I'm so traumatized by like being mistreated. And she kept sobbing like, Dad, can you believe I met someone who's nice to me? And like, there was all of that. I think part of it too is that she isn't used to being in a non-chaotic situation. Mm-hmm. And you can tell because she is so much more comfortable in this chaos. She's more comfortable in this emotional chaos.
Yes, totally.
She's like a different person. I mean, she has new teeth, but she's also like a different person because I think that we're seeing her in her element, which is complete chaos with men.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. And so the big issue with them, so Kendall is traumatized because he made so many of these videos and they all came out. And we thought it was just one, but there's like really a lot of them.
Is that what it is? There's a lot of them?
Yeah, I mean, it's like there's tons of these videos, and on all of them, he's like, "Oh yeah, fuck yeah," which is like, oh my God, when you hear Kendall doing it, it's not a sexy sound. Like, and we saw him do it on that one challenge, and I was like, oh God, please tell me that he doesn't do this. It's like, oh fuck yeah. I'm like, oh gosh, not Kendall. So he has these videos that came out. Obviously, very, very embarrassing for him in this situation, you know.
Well, the first thing we heard, answer me this. Riddle me this, Batman. Yes. So I saw the first one because we were talking about it on the show. And at that time, we even cut it out of the episode that we were talking about because, I don't know, it felt icky. Like, it's revenge porn. People were saying online, oh, this is revenge porn. It's not cool to lead people to it. Right. So we were like, okay, so we deleted it out of there because I don't want to be like that, you know. Yeah. But then I guess it turns out that it wasn't that big of it, that he was lying about what it was. So it turns out that there were a lot of them. So where were they all coming from? Were they just
I don't know, but
he was sending to different people, or
I have no idea, but he was definitely like doing various jerk off videos. Like, I definitely saw at least 4. Maybe.
I just feel like in 2024, are there youthful people without jerk off videos?
Because that's what's sort of funny.
It's so everyone's so comfortable. I mean, he fucked somebody on TV. Why is that okay? Like, why is it okay for Nicole and him to go on TV and fuck? But I mean, I know it wasn't on camera, but like, still, you're like fucking somebody on TV. Like, why is that considered okay? But then having a video of yourself celebrating your own sexuality isn't okay. And I'm not saying they should be prudish about fucking on TV. I'm all for that. Right. I'm just saying, like, if we're so comfortable with our sexuality, why is it so shameful all of a sudden? I don't like that. I feel like he should be allowed to be proud of his sexuality, just like everybody else, because you know everybody's got a dick pic in their phone and everybody's got sex videos in their phone. And this could come out about any of us, even me, probably. And what am I going to do? Like, be ashamed? No. I mean, I would be ashamed of like my fupa and stuff, you know, normal things, my baldness, my angle, because, you know, I always take bad angles and those things. But for the most part, like, if we're going to be proud of our sexuality, be proud of it. You don't owe anybody a fucking apology. That's for sure. Especially somebody you weren't dating at the time. Now, if you were doing this afterwards, fuck off, Kendall. Okay.
Well, so, I mean, yes, I agree. But the thing is, ultimately, though, it has to be on his terms, and it wasn't on his terms. So that's why the situation is really unfortunate. But,
Yes.
given that, like, it doesn't matter how many videos he made, they should still be on his own terms. But I think they're definitely.
Just let me clarify. It's not the leaking of it that I'm saying is okay. Why shouldn't we be able to leak? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, why are we shaming somebody for their sexuality with that kind of video, but not with fucking on TV? It's all sexuality, and none of it should be shamed.
Right. But it is one of those things where it's like, oh, but you made a bunch of these videos, like, and we are in a world where shit like this gets leaked. Yeah, you gotta have a hobby. It doesn't matter how many videos you make. Like, it should still be on your term about whether or not you release that to the public. And it, like you said, it is sort of strange. It feels like these days the reality TV to OnlyFans pipeline is strong. Like, this is just strong. Like, people go on Love Island and then they're jerking off on OnlyFans, and I don't think there is any shame about it. People are like, oh, cool, like, you're gonna make your money, cool, fun. But
there's a mom in the carpool line at my niece's school with a vinyl. She got like a vinyl thing printed out, and it says, come to my OnlyFans. And it has her address for her OnlyFans. A mom at the school. I mean, that's how normal it is. Everybody's on there. I think especially during the pandemic when you got to work from home, people are just, I mean, it's so much more normal than everybody's making it out to be that I'm just shocked that anybody's it's like you're not famous. You're trying to get people to look at your nude pics, but then you get a little bit of fame and then you have to pretend these things never happened and you're supposed to be ashamed of them. Fuck that.
So, but Nicole is mad. And Nicole is like, you haven't been communicating. And they're like, well, what's going on? What's the lie? So Kendall's like, well, when I got out of the villa, and Aaron's like, just breathe, man. Just breathe. Oh my God, like, I'm breathing right now. I can't wait to go meet Kaylor's parents. They'll be like so cute. We'll have so much fun. We'll get some ice cream. I'm a good little boy. And like, I don't have to tell her anything about Danielle at all. Nothing at all, because we'll have the best relationship, the best little time of all time. So Kendall is saying how, well, just with that video, like, I'm gonna say like that something happened and I should have told Nicole the full truth, but I didn't tell the full truth. So Nicole's like, okay, I just want to say something, because obviously the video is not okay. Like, nobody deserves that. Everybody in this room can agree that that is fucked up. However, I think if you say you love someone in the moment when you're telling me about something, you need to be honest. Instead of saying it's from years ago to someone you trust, an ex-girlfriend, and then I find out later from Janae that it was in a hotel room before you got on the show and someone on a dating app, that's crazy. I was there for you. That's why I haven't spoken up. I haven't said anything because it's fucking awful what you've been through. But you also, weren't the most honest with me about it.
Yeah, so basically she's saying he lied and said, oh, I did this for a girlfriend, and then she sent it around, right? So it was like revenge porn or whatever. But it wasn't. He was just basically flirting on an app. So I guess it's kind of normal.
So here's the thing. It doesn't excuse a video like this being leaked without your permission, but it also speaks to Kendall being a fucking idiot. You are in a hotel about to be on TV.
Yeah.
You're about to be on TV and you're going to do a video and send it to a stranger
on an app. Oh,
it doesn't excuse, like, he is the victim here still, but also people would be smart. If you're about to be on TV, it'd be one thing if you made this video even like 3 months prior, because you were not a public person, you had no concern about it, and then you oh no shit, now you're on TV and now it's all getting leaked. It's like, oh, that sucks. But you're actually in the active process of about to step onto television and you do this. Like, it's so fucking Kendall.
Well, there are some layers here. You know, first, his reaction should have been, yes, that is so embarrassing. I'm humiliated. I'm getting like bullied online. People are ripping me apart and sex shaming me and doing all this shit, basically shaming my butt or whatever they were doing. And it's not cool. But yeah, I did make sex videos and it turns me on. And I was doing that before I knew you. And if you can't be with me, I get it, or whatever. That's probably the most reasonable reaction. But beyond reacting improperly and lying about it, I think a lot of what she's saying, which it gets mixed up in this because people are like, but Kendall Kendall has called all of us and he's cried to all of us. And that erupts in just a moment. So we'll get into that full thing. But I think a lot of what Nicole is getting frustrated with here is that this guy's a douchebag. Yep. He's acting like he was just such a victim when he wasn't a victim. He was out there. I mean, he was a victim of the leak, but I'm saying he's been making a lot of these videos and it's kind of normal to him, but he's acting like, oh, and then hold on, I'm not forming my thought properly.
While you form your thought, I'm going to jump in and say, I think he is a douchebag. We all have clocked him for being a douchebag.
On Instagram is what she's saying. She's like, you're not even calling me back or texting me, but then I look on your Instagram and you're with all these fucking hot people all over.
And you're going to act like you're
up the fame.
Right, and you're going to act like you are like distraught over this experience and yet you're partying. And I personally think what happened was that she came out of the villa and she saw that everyone couldn't stand Kendall. And then they couldn't stand her. It's like she got a lot of hate just for being with Kendall. And a lot of people started to really dislike Nicole. And she was like, oh, everyone hates me because they really just don't like you. And it makes me look bad now. And now you have this leak. And it's like, oh my God, this is like my boyfriend. And like, yes, I defend him because it was leaked against him. But like, oh, and you've made a bunch of these. Oh, and you also made one, you acted like it was there from the distant past, but you just made it right before you came onto a show where you're looking for love. So I think she's like, I am being hate, like this guy's the douchebag and I'm receiving all the hate for it. And everyone hates me. So I'm going to make a big stand to win back some credibility with America because everyone thinks I just like, I just back you up and I just want to show like I see the douchebaggery too. But I think then what happens though is that Nicole, she really messes this up, I think. And she sort of makes it seem like she's the victim of the situation when ultimately it really is still Kendall who's the victim as much as like no one wants to be on Kendall's side.
Well, yeah, because she says, he goes through this whole, like, I can't even talk to my family about it, the trauma, the level of trauma. And she's like, yeah, but you're letting people talk shit about me and you're not defending me on podcasts and all of this. And you're not telling people what happened. You're making it sound like this was revenge porn or whatever. And so people don't know the truth. And then you've been letting me take shit for the past 3 fucking weeks. And I guess what she means by that is the news of the goss of the past 3 weeks have been that she dumped him. Like she saw this video and that she dumped him and judged him. And people are like, you shouldn't be judging him because this was revenge porn and he's a victim, right? So she's saying you're fine with people making me look like a monster while you're out partying with girls on Instagram and you've never even texted me and been okay. And he's like, but I have been, but
And then she's like, I don't care about texts, which is funny.
Yeah, I've been texting you and then you got mad at me, so I stepped away to give you time, and then it led to this domino effect of us not being able to communicate.
But then there's also this element too where she's like, just got out of, oh my goodness. It turns out we were on the most popular show in America for the whole summer and we are superstars now. And this is, oh my goodness. And everyone else gets to go on these TikToks and IG lives and get to go on podcasts. And she can't do any of it because she's trying to protect him. And she also probably doesn't want to deal with questions of like, how could you still be with this guy when he did all, like, he's clearly, he's making sex tapes, da. So she had to lay low while everyone else got to do a victory lap and bask in their newfound fame. She had to lay low and she's pissed about it. And I think that's what she's trying to say right now. Like, you didn't even check on me. Like, I'm going through shit. I don't even get to be famous. My window is closing.
Yeah, and you're saying you're traumatized, but you're still out there popping bottles all over Instagram, And so then he keeps trying to apologize and cry and being like, oh, but, and she's not having it. She's like, no, and so she keeps crying, and so then the cast starts jumping in. So first it's Janae, and she's like, well, what does he need to do to prove it to you? Because he's reached out to a lot of us asking like for advice. So what does he need to do? And she's like, he's going on podcasts, and it would have been nice if he went on a podcast and said, I lied to Nicole and that's why we're going through it, because I'm a big fucking liar. That would be nice, instead of making it look like I'm a fucking villain, And
the whole cast is really coming down on Nicole, and a lot of people on Twitter too, because they're like, wow, I can't believe I'm on Kendall's side instead of Nicole, because she really, as she tries to argue her point, it starts to get to a place where it sounds like she's saying that she's the true victim in this. And I think that probably what she's going through is like, she went through horrific relationships in the past. That's what she always talked about. It was always a bad relationship. And so much of Love Island is, okay, we're in this bliss, we're in this bubble of Love Island, but how is it going to work in the real world? Like, can this work in the real world? That's the big question that lingers over all of them. And the very first thing that happens is this shit happens with the video, and he lies about it. And it's like, if your first sort of real world experience is a lie, and you've been through, trauma with past relationships, she's going to lose her mind and everything. And I kind of feel like that's what she should have said, is how this is really like, it was the worst thing, and it was the worst thing for them to step into the real world segment on that note. But instead she just keeps on saying, like, you didn't check on me, you didn't see what I was going through, which makes it seem like she was the big victim in the sex tape situation.
And I think she is doing that. And I think the cast kind of coming at her, she's really not playing her hand very well here. And I know that everything's not a housewife show and it's not all about having a hand, but she's just playing the situation really badly. And she kind of got her point across in the beginning, but she just keeps going. And I think what I'm sensing that she's really saying is, we're supposed to be a couple. I'm sitting at home while you're out living the life. What am I doing?
I'm getting all the hate
I'm taking shit from people on the internet, and meanwhile you're living this party life, and that's not fucking fair. So don't come on this show and start crying like you're some victim when you've been out living like this Hollywood life, and I'm fucking stuck at home. This sucks,
Yeah.
And I think it is kind of that, they can't be this much in love after 2 seconds. I think she's like, you're the one who made a mistake, but of course you're the man, so you're being like celebrated at the end of the day for all of this shit. I didn't even do anything, and I'm the one getting shamed for it.
Right. And then they keep on saying to her, no, your feelings are absolutely valid. What you're saying is valid, but we're just saying you have to listen to Kendall. Everyone's like, listen to Kendall. Your feelings are valid. You have totally right to feel that way, Nicole. But listen to Kendall. He really likes you. Which also I think is so... I think if I were mad at someone and everyone around me was like, but they really like you, I would be mad. I'm like, I'm trying to talk about how I feel. Like, I'm supposed to just ignore what I feel because they feel something about me. Like, they feel good about me. So therefore I should just abandon all my valid reasons for being frustrated right now.
Well, and it's making it worse for her because Kendall is playing it really well. So Kendall's just being more and more of a victim. So now he's like, and this happened to me, but then Mike wouldn't even talk to my family, and now you're being mean to me. And she's just not letting him have it. And she's going more and more in because she's getting frustrated that he's being a victim. And then everybody starts jumping in on his side because she won't let it go after he apologized. And so now they're like, but he's done nothing but call us all. Okay, if he's called this many people to talk about how upset he is about how she's treating him, don't you all see that as some form of manipulation at some point, where he's calling every single person in the cast to galvanize you kind of against Nicole?
That's a great
and how
point.
She's treating him in this whole situation. And I think it's starting to frustrate her. She's like, even the girls. And so she's like, Janae, how would you feel if you found this shit out about Kenny and then Kenny lied to you? And she's like, if Kenny apologized and he said to me that it was before me, I would totally get over it. You would not. You would not. Do we need to rewind with your reaction to Kenny coming back with somebody from the hot house, whatever the fuck it's called, the Casa fucking other, whatever it is? Give me a break.
Yeah. All Nicole had to say is, I mean, Ariana, you're Tom Sandoval. You get it. You get it. The lie that becomes another lie. That it's just like a little lie here, then it's a bigger lie, then a bigger lie.
Also, he's just such a douchebag anyway. Like on the show, his behavior on the show, the whole like, the way that he would act one way to your face and then he'd go behind your back and try and get everybody to be like, oh no, cheat on her. Go cheat on her, bro. You totally should. I mean, everybody should know that he's a piece of shit. He just hides it behind this like smile and everybody's like,
nice guy thing. Yeah.
Commercials. Here comes one right now. My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
So then we go to the Rob section, and Ariana's basically like, how did it feel watching it back? And Rob's like, I think I'm like a dumbass. And I think that just like, I don't know, like, I just couldn't think. I got really emotional, and for some reason I just put this with that, and like this whole night with Leah as well. Like these two moments just like trigger the same like emotion of like, what the fuck? Or like, what are you doing? He literally made no sense. He didn't really have to answer for like why he considered himself the victim when he was deciding or pitting Leah and Andrea against each other, and then he made himself the victim. He never had to answer for that. He never had to answer for how like basically the lies that he kind of like. He didn't have to answer for the fact that he filled Andrea up with all these sentiments of like, yeah, like we're really connected, like this is it, like this is you're my person, like all that stuff, like I'm gonna leave without you. He pretends like he's gonna leave with her, and then he like pretends like he's tortured, like I probably should stay just for this experience, like, but implying that like what they have is special and he's gonna see her on the other side, and then immediately a day later is just like flirting with other people. And then Andrea has a whole other issue which we'll get to, but like, you know, she's fallen for this guy, and he never has to answer for basically the pile of lies he sold her, the bill of goods.
Well, Andrea made such an ass out of herself outside the house. She left the house that she completely fucked herself over. So she has no leg to stand on, because now she just looks like a thirsty attention whore, and everybody's just going to paint her with that, you know? So she's going to lose no matter what she does. And it doesn't help that she can't speak, because she just keeps repeating everything over and over. And she's like, but then, like, I mean, I could see those two having dinner together and my ears start bleeding. Like, I can just imagine being a waiter at that table and just wanting to take the tongs and shove a dinner roll in their mouths and just be like, be quiet, please, just eat this bread, please.
Well, you know what though, that like, she really should have just been on the offense, and she was on the defense. She was trying to explain why she did so many TikToks and everything. But personally, like, I think that she was gaga for the guy, and she just was like excited about it. And I mean, I haven't really watched all her TikToks at all, because it's like, I mean, it's a lot. But you know, I kind of feel like he filled her up with this idea that they were going to have a relationship and that something meaningful was going to happen. I think she was excited about it. And then he came out of the villa and was like, whoa, she's been doing like a lot of TikToks. She's like cuckoo crazy. And I just feel like that sucks so much. And I would have loved her to say, Rob, why did you say X, Y, and Z to me? This and that, Larsa Pippen. Why did you sell a bill of goods? Why did you try to pretend like you were going to leave the villa with me? Make me feel like what we have was something very deep and genuine. And then it turns out like a day later, you're already moving on to someone else. I would have just liked him to have answered for it. And I think that she didn't have to explain herself. I think Rob had to explain himself.
But I think if she was going to explain herself or have anything to say, she needed to work on it, because and I'm just looking
if you're going to work on it.
And it's just three paragraphs, long paragraphs of her just not making any sense. She's just like,
on and on.
Oh God.
I heard that.
It was crashing through the ceilings. Jesus. She's like, yeah, because like we were in like the villa, but then when we weren't in the villa, but like I was getting attacked for stuff, and it wasn't even true stuff, but like I was getting attacked. But it's like, if you're in the villa, but then you're not in the villa anymore, it's like different, because when you're in the villa, you're in it. But then when you're out of it, it's not inside a villa. You know what I mean? And everyone's like, no. And then Leah's rolling her eyes. So I was like, what happened here? So she goes through this whole thing with she got dumped and she was sad about it. And she thought, well, maybe America will empathize with me, like what I was going through. And then Leah just turns around and she's like, I'm so sorry, but you're like, after son, you said that I act out of emotion and you would never act that way, and that's all you're saying right now. So like, that's kind of like, I'm not really sure to the word about it, but it's like what you're doing isn't cool.
And then out of nowhere, Janae whips out her papers, her stapled papers, her packet. She goes, hi, this is Janae for the defense. You also said that she was two-faced in your after son. And let me see, on page 45, let's start. Page 4, are you ready? You know what she went through before you left. She went through a lot. So to call her a two-faced of all people, she bit her tongue so many times. And yes, she talks shit about Rob. She admits that all the time. But she never talks shit about Rob to you directly. She's like, you can apologize to her now.
Yeah. And she's like, no, like, I understand again. Like, so like, again, like, I'm sorry for the things I said, which you didn't say you're sorry yet. in all of those words I never heard, and I'm sorry, but okay. And she's like, but it wasn't like a malicious intent. It was like the intent of like when you have intent outside of a villa, but then your intent's like different inside because it's not outside. Does that make sense?
Calling someone two-faced is malicious. You don't understand that now, but I'm telling you, calling someone two-faced is malicious. Isn't that right, Kenny? Calling someone two-faced is in fact malicious.
And Andrea, they're basically like, yeah, and Andrea says, well, you guys reposted a video making fun of me. And Leah's like, I was really nice. Like, do you know how dumb I feel coming out? Because, like, I stood up for you and everything. I even commented on one of your pictures on Instagram. And then people are like, Leah, look at this. Leah, look at that. And I was like, is it about a horse? Otherwise, no thanks. But then it slipped through and I felt so dumb.
And Andrea's like, but this is the problem that I have because like I generally got on with all you guys so well, and then when I came out of the villa, I was getting attacked saying I was like a mean girl, things like based off the show. I was like I want out. And Liv was like, yeah, but you know what, Dave? But watching back the show, you made some snarly comments many times. And like Miguel was asking us who was with who. Leah said, like, well, I'm single. And you said, you're welcome. And that's like one. And the next thing is like when Hannah was working out with Miguel in the gym, you said, oh, this is the first time we've seen Hannah in the gym. Too. Like, that's really rude. That's actually really rude. I'm actually going to stand up right now and stomp on over to you. But I'm going to hold myself back because that's kind of my patented move. But that was like really rude.
Yeah, and that's how you do it without a list. All right, that's how you do it without a list. But here's what I do need instead of a list of things. I need to lick my lips intensively. She's got the Diana Jenkins lip licking, which I can't believe we never mentioned before. But oh my God, the lips. I think she just keeps getting fresh filler or something. So it's a typical thing where you can't really feel them. It's like coming out of the dentist. Mm-hmm. But man, it's just like, I'm done. And then let me tell you how I feel about this. You were snarly.
And Rob's
I hate
like,
even hearing the sound of that. And
Rob's like, sorry. I guess it was all like really shocking to me because the Andrea that I knew like wasn't really like that, and she was like really calm and like really put together, and like I thought she handled situations really well. And then I got out, and then I saw like 100 TikTok lives, and I'm not saying you're not that person, but I think America can see that you're just a wackadoodle crazy woman, right? Like, why are you so obsessed with me?
This is so annoying. And I guess Andrea pissed a lot of the girls off when she was in there. So I get that and being outside of it. But it really does bother me that here we are with Rob, of all people, getting to sit there and lecture somebody. It really... Yeah.
And this girl is up here. She gives like this monologue that goes on for 10 minutes. It's so long and it's incoherent.
She's not helping herself. And I just wish there was like Dame Judi Dench to be... here to read it, like just to give it some validity, because I can't with her. But I was like, no, I agree. I just think it wasn't even put on a platform where I'm being attacked left and right. And I went through like a week of just literally like, what do I do? I can either just let people think these things or I can speak on it. And that's what I did. I mean, give it something, but it's just like 10 minutes of like, but then, like, should I, like, speak on it? So then, like, I did, because, like, it's like a platform. And you can either be on a platform or you're not on a platform. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and she just goes on and on and on, and eventually starts talking about how people have been mean to her and everything, yada, yada, yada. And then Ariana asks, like, well, when you watch the show back, do you feel like you understood why the girls chose you to be the one to go home? And Andrea's like, 100%. 100%. I had no idea. You know what? And guess what? I just got a message from future me that's about to watch the whole scene in about an hour. And I still don't understand. I don't understand the logic whatsoever.
Pretty much. So she's like, I'm like watching it and I see it for what it is. Like they picked Janae because like they're friends with her. So like I'm like valid. That's valid. And there's like, can I say that was not the reason actually? And he goes, that literally wasn't the reason. Can we speed up the tape?
I know. Fast forward.
Jesus Christ.
Fast forward. The very first thing in that scene was them going, okay, so we all agree that we saved Janae because she's our friend. Yeah, she's family. She can't go home. Okay, let's move on to the other two. I mean, realistically, Janae was the one that should have gone home in that situation. I mean, Andrea and Rob were in a good situation. Nicole and Kendall had something going on. Janae had no one. And like she should have gone home, but they saved her because she's a friend, and that's fine. But for them to be like, that's literally like not even a reason why should we save Janae. You didn't even talk to Janae. We watched the whole scene. You didn't even talk about Janae. For 10 minutes, you went back and forth about two people. It didn't even cross your mind to even come up with some theoretical considerations to send Janae home.
Yeah. So
I'm glad they kept her, but like logically, they probably should not have.
So what is this backseat thing? I forget.
So because there was a fight, and this may have been during the week when you weren't watching, but basically after Andrea was kicked off, like 2 days later, I forget the sequence of events, but I think it was Aaron. I think Aaron was the one who started asking who was the one who was pushing for Andrea to be kicked off. And then it was either Aaron did it or Rob. One of them did it. They were trying to get to the bottom of it. And then Rob confronted Leah saying, I heard that you were the one trying to get Andrea kicked off. And she goes, no, I was trying to take a back seat in that situation. And then they bring Liv into it, and she starts firing off like, you absolutely were not in the back seat. You were driving it. You were not in the back seat. So it became a lot of like, who was in the front seat, who was in the back seat.
Oh, okay.
It was a big fight.
Funny.
It's a big stupid fight.
So now they're having a discussion of like, define the back seat.
Yeah.
Okay. So then now it's Pizza Hut time. So they do that.
Which I honestly might have some Pizza Hut today because it worked. It worked on me.
You know what? It did really make me think, oh my God, that is a delicious pizza. Like the deep fried dough or whatever that dough is made of, the crust. Oh my God. It actually is kind of good. But yeah, so they do that. Then we come back, and then it's the bombshell section where we talk about how hot bombshells are. And Harrison, I mean, God bless you. Thank God you're pretty, because literally I don't remember a thing about him.
Yeah.
You know? And so then, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, he was just like, they gave me money to come out here, so I came out here. That's it. I knew there was only 1 week left. I knew I wasn't going to be able to move the needle on anyone, but why not?
Yeah, and then we get Connor, and Connor's like, yeah, like everything is like so great, you know, because like I met guys, and like the guys are so nice, and like we're like a family, because like they're guys, and I'm a guy too. So like sometimes we'll just be like, I'll be a guy, and then they'll be a guy, and we'll be like, hey, you want to pee? God, thank God we can both pee outside, right? It's crazy because we're guys. So
then I love this quote from Connor. It was like really intimidating experience, but near the end, I even kind of forgot I was a bombshell at all. It's hard. It's hard being like deeply attractive. It can be so scary to walk into situations and being judged for just being beautiful, but in the end, you just forget how beautiful you are.
I forgot how hot I was. It's crazy. Okay, so then Ariana asks, what's his buns? Kenny, oh, you brought Catherine back. Do you regret that decision? And he's like, no. Didn't he say no?
Yeah. He's like, well, I mean, like, I was honoring what I felt in the moment. So, but basically, and Catherine's like, I mean, in the real world, I mean, I'm not going to go after someone who has a man. Like, that was not going to be real. But, like, I'm on a TV show, so I tried it. And then, you know, this is basically like the segment where we check in on people who have nothing. There's like nothing for them to offer to the reunion.
Well, I actually kind of liked this because this is the section where they talk about how much it sucks to be cast as a bombshell, because it's not fair, or a Casa whatever girl. I keep wanting to say Casa Vega, which is a Mexican food restaurant here, but a Casa Amor person, because the internet hates you. All the girls in the house hate you. Everybody hates you. And you're like, what the hell? I got cast on the same show you fuckers did. My mouth is just a little sideways, so I had to come in after. Like, this is not fair. Like, why do you guys get praise and you guys get all these promotion deals and people scream for you when you walk in? We did the same job and people hate our asses. Like, I can't even go on fucking Twitter anymore without people calling me a whore. Like, what the hell, man? And I think they had a very valid point. And, you know, I think the girls were pretty good about it, where they're like, listen, none of this was your fault. We know it's the guys. Like, any of the problem was with the guys, but these girls are traumatized, and this is some trauma, I believe, because they really don't deserve this, you know?
No one's more traumatized than Liv, who's like, cast is hard, but like, I take my head off to you guys, because at the end of the day, you know, what you did was like really difficult being a Casa girl, but like bombshells, it's just as hard being a bombshell. Okay, justice for bombshells. I came in and I had to steal someone's man on the first day, and they just got to this experience, and I'm like, I had to try to like take that away from everyone. Like within like 6 hours, like not even like I went in, I chatted to every person in front of them, and then like went like, okay, I'm gonna choose your man, and then you're left vulnerable. And I just, by the way, I hope you're all okay. So like, you have to understand, being a bombshell is probably the hardest thing to do in America right now, and I'm not even American.
I was like a one-woman version of the West Wing, walking very rapidly from person to person in the non-hallways of the casa or the villa, trying to steal men. You think that's easy for me? And Daya's like, we're not trying to take anything away from your experience. Like, of course, that's hard as well. I think what we're trying to say is it's really hard signing up to be a piece of meat on a TV show, and then even the other pieces of meat are calling you meat smelling. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, like we are told to go try and make a connection just the same way you guys are, and like it just sucks, but that's just the way it is. And like, maybe we went about it the wrong way. I'm like, no, don't apologize for how you did it. You did it the right way. You didn't do anything the wrong way. The guys did it the wrong way.
And I like that she actually says, you know, and I feel like every single person on this couch, this is still Daya. She has a big monologue about this.
Big monologue.
Like, hating people who didn't deserve it, and this is none of their faults. And it's true. And I think even how the show frames it, we all kind of feel that way because it's framed this way. The show is built this way. They come in as man stealers, and you're supposed to hate their asses. Because every time they show them, I'm kind of like, oh, you know, she tried to steal your man, you know. But they were cast that way. And so she gives a whole monologue about it. And then she says this, which I really liked. She says, for like weeks, my social media was just too fucking much. And I feel like every single person on this couch, we need to be better at realizing that even if you repost something or you make a comment or you don't acknowledge when someone's in the background talking shit or whatever, like you guys have to realize how it affects people. And if someone says even the smallest thing that's rude about someone else, you're co-signing your fucking followers to go and drag the other person. And that's not okay. And this isn't on you, Serena, because I don't think you've said anything. But I
good.
thought that was so sad because it's true. Like, they get all these followers, and then we've seen how vicious these followers get.
Listen,
not with us, but
listen, I'm tagged on a Melissa Gorga post right now. It's like every day it's another like, oh, fuck you, Melissa Gorga, you stupid skank, you ruined the show. Like, when people like have their knives out on reality stars or just celebrities, they really come out. And I kind of feel bad for the people on this show because they're all kind of young, and people are going really hard at Andrea and Daya. People were totally dragging Daya for like wanting to be with OBJ, like wanting to get to OBJ, etc. So I genuinely feel bad because it's vicious out there, and that's why they have like this PSA moment where Ariana looks at the camera and goes, "I think that it's really important to be kind to our Islanders, unless of course one of the Islanders is Tom Sandoval."
Right, that fucker deserves it. But you know, even her, like in her season, she had every right to go after Raquel or whoever else, and she never did. You know?
Yeah, and I like Leah being like, "Can I say one thing? By the way, like, I love my followers, all 3 million of them." Scattered applause again. Anyone? Thank you.
That would be nice. Not necessary, but
not necessary, but thank you. But like, you know, everyone, like Sierra, like, I don't want people to think I hate anyone sitting here except for Andrea. And like, even Rob, like, please spare the man. Spare the man.
It's pretty funny.
No.
Yeah, this, I mean, I understand the utter hypocrisy of
being on this podcast.
Saying it because I am evil. Like,
but we're doing it on our own show, and we don't
and I don't need to even need to justify because I'm going to keep doing it anyway. So, but I just want to say, like, I want to put it out there. Like, I get the hypocrisy, but just seeing what these girls go through, and I do mean the girls, because the guys don't go through it the same. You know, I know the guys are on the same show, but we don't all live in the same world. As if anybody needs more evidence of that, watch this show and look at the sadness in these girls' eyes and what they've gone through.
I know.
I really guarantee you, Connor didn't go through that.
Yeah, exactly. And Aaron will try to make you think that he went through that, but he didn't. And speaking of which, we now have the Kaylor and Aaron segment, which goes just about as well as I was hoping. So, you know, Ariana's like, "So, how have things been going for you guys since you left the villa?" And Aaron goes, "Not very good, not very good. I think I'm just going to come out and say it. I lied to Kaylor. Is everyone listening? This is my accountability moment. I've learned how to be accountable, which is you just say, I lied to Kaylor straight up. I didn't tell her the whole truth. You know, I put my hands down Daniela's pants. I kissed her. I snogged her. We had loads of romantic connections. We played Uno. We played Connect 4. I made her breakfast. You know, I stuck my finger in her vagina. You know, we tried to catch fireflies in the lawn at night, things like that. But I wasn't honest with Kaylor. Kaylor's like, wait. Go back to that other thing you just said. You put your hands down her pants.
I've impregnated a Smurf. You know, went to lunch, that sort of thing.
Did butt stuff. Did butt stuff. You know, we played badminton in the backyard.
What was his point in this? Why is he suddenly confessing that he put his hands down Daniela's pants? Does he think that Daniela's going to say something, or that they have footage? Has somebody told him this is coming out today? You better get ahead of it, buddy.
I think he's trying to be super, super, super accountable as per coaching from Rob and others. And I think that he forgot that he didn't say that part yet. And so Kaylor's like, what? Like, wait, you didn't tell me this 2 days ago when I was asking you in a hotel room? Like, fuck, Aaron, fuck.
Aaron, be honest with me. Look me in the eyes, like, when you say that. Like, don't look at Ariana. I'm, like, tired of it. Like,
we're here for 3 days and you can't even say that? Like, Aaron, like, I'm so upset with you right now, Aaron.
I walked into the villa being so fucking confident, like, fuck, and, like, you beat me down. You beat me down, Aaron. You beat me down, and, like, I left, like, a different fucking girl. Like, it's not cool and it's not fun, Aaron. Like, look at me now.
Hey, I don't agree with anything that's been said, but I think that, like, every time I talk to Aaron, I mean, I tell you the same thing every time, Aaron. Just be accountable, and he's just like an idiot. And, like, I love him, but he is, like, you know, he struggles. He's got problems. He's not perfect, but he's not a horrible person, and he's a boy, so therefore you should let him off easy.
I know, but everyone acting like Kaylor has just given this speech for the first time. Like, this is the speech she gives every episode. Why are we acting like this is something new? Fast forward to Kaylor snuggling in bed with Aaron in New York. Well, we only had one night together, so I trusted you, and fuck, like, you stuck your penis inside the cab driver, Aaron, fuck.
Do you understand, Aaron, that I went through all of Casa Amor and I didn't even talk to anyone? I was closed off the entire time. I was sleeping in soul ties, and then you find out 6 months later that your hand was down Daniela's pants. Like, fuck, that's so fucked up, Aaron.
So then she's like, you know, like, I watched the show, I got, like, so upset. Like, I was just so upset.
So upset, Aaron.
And she talks about how she watched it, but I was away from my support system, so, like, I didn't even see what was going on, really, you know? And her
support system was, like, doing, like, they were, like, doing a conga line, like, drinking margs. They're like, oh, God, Kaylor's not here. They were so happy.
No kidding. Like, thank God. So Aaron is like, wait a minute, but that's not, you can't do that, you know, because she's saying, you know, I still, after watching Casa, like, Aaron was going through the most, and I talked to him and I still texted him, even though I was, like, so mad at him. He goes, wait, hold on. No, my granddad passed away on that fucking day, on the morning of the BFFs podcast, and 4 hours later I told you that as well, and you still went on BFFs, and you still shat all over me on that show. You did not support me once on that show. My grandpappy died. You don't get to, like, you knew she was going on a podcast, so you told her your grandfather died,
yes,
so she couldn't talk shit about you, and she disregarded your manipulation, sir.
Exactly. Okay. And I was proud of her for acknowledging that he was love bombing her. And especially when she brought up something that I'd totally forgotten about, which is how he freaked out when she kissed Cain in a challenge. And then he does all the stuff in Casa Amor. And then it's just like, well, it's just what I wanted to do at the time. So I love also when he talks about his grandfather, and they're like, oh, whatever. Like, Liv especially is like, oh, no, don't want to hear it. They're like, we don't care. You can't pull the dead grandfather card on us.
Yeah. And she's like, I sent my condolences. I asked you how your family was doing, and I asked you, I texted you, so don't say I didn't text you, because I did text you. I was there. I mean, not there, but I was there on text. And he's like, I from the bottom of my heart. Like, everything, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I just want you to know that. What are you doing? My hands are down the pants of this couch right now, actually. I'm so sorry. Sorry, I couldn't help it, actually. It was a crack. It was an exposed crack. Sorry to you, couch.
I'm sorry for everything. For everything I put you through, including the fact that I asked Daniela to be my girlfriend before I asked you. What? You didn't even tell me that. What? You, Aaron?
Actually, I've told you every single thing now. I've told you everything. So I hope you can forgive me. I really am sorry. I'm married Daniela. I actually married Daniela.
What? Wait a second.
We
This
eloped.
so Fox. Wait, when did you get married? You didn't even invite me to that?
It was like 5 minutes. We eloped.
I slept
and then we
alone in
eloped.
soul ties.
All right. Well, you know what? We've had 5 children. Oh God, I'm so sorry. I've not told you
love
that.
bombed. Okay, you know what? You can do this, and you can love bomb me all you want, but that's not what. Okay, but I'm a strong Kaylor now, and like I don't care anymore, and like you can't even bother me anymore. And the way you know I'm stronger is because I took out my index finger and I'm wagging it in a very small way, and you can't bother me anymore, Aaron.
So one of the most asked questions, Ariana says, is the fire pit scene. Dun,
Is it?
Dun, dun,
Is
dun.
it?
What
Was it?
the fire pit scene?
Why was it a most asked question? We all watched it. I was like, I know what happened. Why is
Now,
everyone
obviously,
confused?
I did not watch it during this time. And so I was like, oh my God, the controversial scene. Did they not air any of this? Because they aired, I think, 5 hours of this scene of these people just repeating themselves over and over. There seemed to be nothing controversial in it. So I'm confused.
This was honestly, I was like, oh, cool. I love that they're doing this. They showed all the angles. I was like, this is cool. I was like, this scene went on for so long. And I have to give a major round of applause to our note taker, Jessica, because she transcribed every single moment of this whispered 10-minute scene. And I have to tell you, I was like, okay, we get it. We get it. Leah thinks that Leah's logic is that Andrea came in and immediately went for Rob and locked Rob down, and that felt like she wasn't playing the game because she wasn't trying to get to know other people, whereas Nicole is trying to get to know other people, and that's more a worthy gameplay. Honestly, the logic did not really pan out on either end, and we saw them say it over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah. But Liv is the bossiest, so she wins because that's how
Yes.
Liv is that team project leader who you don't even know no one is even confident that anything you're going to turn in is going to be right, but she told you to, and I will listen to her. I would do whatever she told me to because she also just has that lip-licking, I don't lip-licking way about her. I just would listen to her. She's confident.
Right. Yeah, she's just like, okay, so because Liv, I think, was advocating more for Nicole to leave, right? And it was Leah who was like, but here's my feeling of why Andrea should leave. So I do think that like Leah was more active in advocating for Andrea to leave, but I would not say that she was jumping in and being like, you guys, it has to be Andrea. It didn't really, it seemed like it was as much as anyone else was.
Well, Liv would kind of take what everyone else was saying, like a team leader. She would take what everyone else is saying, and she'd be like, all right, your idea, here it is. So that girl's going to go, and this is the reason she's going to go, and here's what I'm going to say when I announce it. Is that correct? Is that what I'm going to say? Can I say that? Because I don't really know if that's the truth. What do you think, Kaylor? Go ahead, Kaylor. All right, Kaylor thinks that wouldn't be fair because this girl was actually trying, so we were going to punish people for trying. That's what Kaylor said. You know what? Kaylor's got a point too. So here's what we're going to say: we're not going to punish someone for trying. Is that right? That's what I'm going to say. So, does that need more pizzazz? Should I work on that language? Betty, would you run away with that? I know you're not on this show, but Betty, go ahead, do that. The producer's like, could you guys hurry up? It's been 10 hours. All right, could you just get us some more folding chairs? I need to put my feet on something. I've got these dogs are screaming. These dogs are screaming. All right, can I get a whiteboard for a pie chart? Was that too many words in one sentence? Whiteboard, white chart. Let's go.
So we watched the whole thing, and so basically, Leah feels like she finally got vindication, and Liv apologizes to her, and Liv, Leah's like, what I was trying to say was that I was trying to take a back seat. Like, words matter, guys, especially if you're like me and you have 3 million followers on Instagram. Thank you. I appreciate that ahead of time. Thank you.
Yeah, and she's like, I don't want to eliminate Nicole for the sole fact that she's like open. You know what I mean? So anyway, basically there's some apologies. There's some moving on. There's this huge revelation everybody's shocked by. I was like, I mean, that was fun, I guess. I just really could use any 10-minute scene with Liv doing that.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, it was fun. It was funny watching Liv trying to navigate through the logic and the discussion. But I was like, man, this is going on for a very long time.
So then Liv is like, all right. So Rob comes in. Like, Rob, what do you think? The ultimate victim. Because Leah's like, I mean, you were even more bothered than me. You talked about it more than I. Wait, who is this? Aaron?
Yeah, no,
Who's she yelling at? Aaron?
Leah was yelling at Aaron, yeah.
Because Janae says, okay, Aaron, you called them idiots for sending Andrea home when the obvious person was Janae. Remember that? And Aaron's like, well, I apologize then for that. You know, I didn't mean to do that. I said it because you weren't in the couple and the other girls were in the couple. And I just had my first child to go off to college. Did I just say that? I'm so sorry. Actually, let me apologize for
Fuck.
So then Leah's like, yeah, but then you went around planting it in everyone's ear, Aaron. He goes, no, I didn't. And she's, yeah, you were more bothered than me. Like, you talking about it more than I did. You were dramatic at the fire pit, telling everyone, like, I literally told you what the fuck I said. Like, are you just like a gossiper? Are you a bitch? Like, what's happening?
I think that he told me because, like, he was, like, my friend. It's like, he wasn't even part of it. Like, by the fucking way, reroll the tape of me saying I tried to. Like, I didn't say I took a backseat. I said I was trying to. Roll the fucking tape. Keywords, okay? How about we do some SEO on this bitch? And guess what Google will find? My face, because I said I was trying to, okay?
And Rob's so annoying, just coming into white knight his little man every single time. He's like, I'm not saying that you did do anything. It's just like, that's what I got from y'all's conversation. She goes, let's not get the blurred lines, okay? Because that stuff was canceled when I was in kindergarten. So, like, listen, you said Leah took a back seat. And Rob goes, which is my fault. And Liv goes, oh, shut up.
Well, she said what I was going to say. That conversation is what led to our conversation. I wasn't going to go talk to Leah about all that with some more information. He's like, can I talk? I don't even know what he means by any of that. So Ariana's like, Rob, please finish. He goes, all I'm saying is I'm not blaming you guys for it, but from my perspective, the girls had their POV, which was stupid. It didn't make sense. Girls are crazy. And they went with their logic, which didn't make any sense. And it was just different from the guys. And it was just like a different decision, sort of like how I decided to be normal and Andrea decided to be crazy obsessed with me.
So then he's like, yeah, I wanted to get clarity. That's all, you know, like I never would have said anything to you about it and I would have moved on. And Leah's like, excuse me, may I get into this conversation, please? So then she talks more about the backseat and whatever. And she said, I knew that if we sent her home, Rob's going to hate me forever, you know? And I did not sway it towards Andrea. And that's all. That's what I'm always blamed for. And I did not do it. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So now it's a bathroom break. So some of like the people who were barely on the show, Cassie, Cassidy, and Nigel, they go and they have a scene also to hawk Pizza Hut. And this reminded me of like 7th grade improv. They're like, wow, God, this reunion's hard. This is a real, thank God there's pizza. This pizza is so good. Man, what would we do without this pizza? This is good pizza. Oh God, isn't it fun being back with everyone and this pizza?
Glad to see some hearts have melted out there. Just like this cheese is melted on top of this pizza.
You know, some people have a hard exterior, but they have a gooey inside. Just like this cheese-stuffed crust from Pizza Hut.
That girl is really getting heated. She sure is saucy. I hope there's more sauce and less salt.
Toppings, am I right? So Ariana's like, well, we have time for a few more viewer questions. I'm like, a few more? We never even started, but that's fine. So, Rob, will you ever retire the overalls? And he's like, I will not be retiring the overalls. And it's not because it's a fashion statement. It was never a fashion statement. It's just functional and very comfortable. Like,
yeah, super fascinating stuff. And then how tired was Serena of eating avocado toast? You know what? This is why viewers should not ask questions. Like, here's the questions I want to hear. Who has sex tapes? Where can we find them all?
Yeah, these are not the right
Scrabble.
ones.
Like, you know, what's your favorite ice cream? That's what, like, can we ask something real?
Yeah. And so that's sort of like, then Ariana starts to do this kind of like wrap up where she's like, well, I think one of the most special things about this show and this season is that there's so many amazing friendships between the guys and the girls. And as someone who came into prominence in a super toxic friendship group, I'm just really jealous of you guys. What's it like having friends that aren't trying to undermine you every single moment?
Give them time. That's what I say. They don't do it as much because they're only on one season. Give them 10.
Yeah, seriously.
So Janae's like, the most important lesson is to always be a good girl. Unless you're Nicola. What's that girl's name? So
Andrea.
Name. That's Andrea. Stupid bitch.
It's okay. You can call me Nicola. Anything to get back with you guys. And Ariana's like, I love that. I wasn't listening, but I love that. So for the last time, before we wrap up, Kendall, can we hear it? He's like, sure, yeah. Fuck yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, Kendall. Your other tagline?
I'm coming. God damn. Okay, let's just wrap it up. We'll see you next year. Oh, also, Love Island Games has been picked up. So that's something else that's happened inexplicably.
And then Kendall does, we're getting nasty, which I guess is his tagline. Somehow I missed that. I'm okay with having missed it.
You missed it? Even I got that one.
I did not.
Nasty.
I'm sorry that I blocked out some Kendallisms. It's just,
there's a lot of Kendall that's just worth blocking out.
Thank you.
But
thank you.
He's laughing his way all the way to the vagina bank. I'll tell you that. Yeah.
Some bank.
I love that we both went for private things.
Private polls.
All right, everybody. That was super fun. We're ending this at 4:20 p.m., everybody. So go smoke a J, smoke a giant blunt. And thank you so much for being here. This was really fun. Wow, my first experience with Love Island.
Congratulations.
Started traumatically. But then once I took out an avocado masher or potato masher, whatever you chose, and I just did that, I stuck it in my ear and just mashed my brain up a little bit more, I was really able to enjoy this show quite a bit.
Yes, and congratulations, Ronnie, on your Triscuits endorsement. I always knew you could get there, so.
Thank you so much. I've always really wanted to properly shout out an extremely dry wicker snack.
It's like someone said, I want rattan, but I want to be able to eat it too.
I really do. And I want it to be made, I want it to look like rattan, but actually be made out of a straw screen door.
I want to know what it feels like to bite into a basket.
You know what? What if somebody ate a scarecrow?
Well, on that note, everyone, thanks so much for being here, and we will catch you on the next episode. Bye.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Strolling the park with Caitlin Clark.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
She's never scary. It's the Green Fairy.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know your worth with Jason Kurth.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's always supplying. It's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. We want to hang with Liz Lang. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall. We got our wish, it's Jen Plish.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch.
She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
Ring that bell, toi Rachel.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke. Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
If you like Watch What Crappens, you can listen ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
When you visit a state as big and diverse as Texas, there are a million different trips you can take. Let's say you've got an appetite for whitewater kayaking. You can get your own, so this is why they call it Devil's River, trip to Texas. Or maybe you have an actual appetite. I'll take a pound of brisket, 6 ribs, 3 links of sausage, and a piece of pecan pie. Trip to Texas. Go to TravelTexas.com/get your own for the only trip to Texas that matters. Yours.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Kiki, and my podcast is back with a new season. And let me tell you, it's too good. And I'm diving into the brains of entertainment's best and brightest, okay? Every episode, I bring on a friend. I mean, the likes of Amy Poehler, Kel Mitchell, Vivica Fox, the list goes on. So follow, watch, and listen to Baby, This is Kiki Palmer on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts.